going on? Yeah, that puberty voice. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is a Friday edition of Big Games B.S. I should have worn my holiday shirt. I forgot. We got a couple more days before. I got a couple more shows before the next one. Just got back. Today's the day. One of the big days. We're gonna be going to the school, doing the give back. Had a lot of stuff going on as far as the foundation goes, as far as a lot of other different things goes. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's getting the last minute Christmas shopping. You have 4 days to get everything in, and just or don't, man. Just enjoy it, man. It's hot. I had a whole fit planned for today. I'm still going to wear it. I'm just not going to be able to raw dog a sweatshirt because I don't want to have no sweat stains up under my armpit. So I got to wear a t-shirt today so I can but I'm going to wear my all red outfit when we go over here to Long Branch Elementary School. Just giving these nice gifts for nice grades. We did Tallahassee yesterday. Went to Appalachia Elementary School. Went to W.T. Moore. Also went to W.T. Moore Appalachia Elementary School, as well as Bond. Of course, we always go to Bond Elementary School. They always support our mission and our goals for getting young men and women academically sound. It is amazing to be able to be around people in academia that get it, that don't really care. They understand that nobody wants to help. Nobody wants to help students. Nobody cares about academics. So when you find somebody who genuinely does care, you want to make sure you equip them and give them the opportunities to continue to be around these young men and women so that, that your mission is being served. Because, man, if you're looking at the way the world is now, it damn sure ain't helping. So you need as many boots on the ground, as many people coming around and helping as possible. So with that being said, we got a jam-packed show today. A lot of stuff to get into and get through as the schedule is going. I have some I might have to get approval before I do this one thing, because I'm gonna show you, Miles, and then tell me the boys are getting tortured at the dentist right now. I'm gonna show you the shiesty mask, right? And it's fire, right? I think it's fire, at least. Oh, Miles. Oh shit. You can see it anyway. Oh, that's fire. That's fire, right? That is fire. I just don't want to show it because my man showing is. You don't know. I know who it is. Y'all don't. Y'all might. If you can recognize him by his shoulders, then you've probably been too close to him. But anyways, though, we got some of the gear. We got some gear issue. We have gear issues, but we know we're gonna get it worked out. So we may have some MFTK stuff for auction. But as they fix some things, but yeah, that MFTK. Oh, and we got MFTK hats. So I might start telling people, if y'all want to cop some to help the cause, because it's gonna be cool. But like we got the Jaguar, and like that's the Jaguar themed MFTK cap. I gotta get those ordered. This is the one I can't wait to get the fat head fitted for. That drip. So like, if y'all are interested in some, I have the old school ones. I know I got to get my Primo, send him one. We got different colors. We got black and red. We got University Christian theme color. So I'm gonna start rocking this on the sidelines. It's kind of cool. I gotta tell him he ain't got nothing on the back. But what happened? Oh, so if people want stuff that we can go that route. But anyways, let's start our show off the way we start each and every show off with a good word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
All right, Jaden, what we got to talk about today?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games B.S. here on Friday, December 19th. If this is your first time here at the show, welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games B.S., it's because we bring the good, bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. We're going to start off our show with our normal segment, our MFTK segment. Then we're going to transition into some NCAA talk. We have some FSU football news to get through, and then we're going to preview some of the games that's going to be happening during round one of the college football playoff, while we have some transfer portal news as well. We're going to make our Hard Rock parlay for the college games this weekend and for the NFL games. And speaking of NFL, after our college segment, we'll take a stab at our NFL topic, starting with our NIL Knowles in the lead. We're going to be highlighting some Seminoles who have been making their impact known on the field. We're going to move on with some Jaguars talk, get into the fiasco of a game that happened last night between the Rams and the the Rams and the Seahawks. Got a different bird confused. We're going to talk about some quarterbacks, some teams, and we're going to hit you guys with the viewing guide and parlay. Before we get into our Big Games BS section for today, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world, we have our BS or bussin' food review segment, although this one's going to be a little different. And we're going to finish off our show with an OG Wineland segment. And it's something to do with the Jaguars. If you know, you know. But we're going to come back to that at the end. But first things first, let's get through this MFTK high school showcase.
It's tomorrow. We got people, just the holidays, things are happening, man. I just can't wait to get this over with so we can pick our teams and we can start getting practices. We can really start going full speed ahead with Team MFTK. We got some of the apparel that came in for the national team. Got to do some edits, got to do some things we got to take care of. But we should have overtime represented, 247, rivals 1-3. It should be. Did I post the latest one? I don't know if I I hate how my Twitter is acting, man. It's only my main page. Yeah, that's the damn it. I ain't put the new one up. Oh, that's easy. Let me get to the address is it's the KIPP school is where it's gonna be at. It is on. There we go. Click this. Blow it up. It is 1440 North McDuff Avenue, in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where it will be at. 2 to 4 p.m. will be our 15U tryout. 3 to 5 will be our O-line D-line challenge. And then 5 to 7:30 will be our 18U showcase. So that's where we'll be getting active, getting after it, and just seeing how people compete and do what they need to do. We will pick our team, our 15U and our 18U teams from out of the showcase. We're expected to have a couple hundred kids over the course of the day be able to show up. So the goal for that is to be able to pick one of the better teams in the nation, as well as teams that are going to hopefully be able to compete internationally. So if you want to be a part of that, you can show up. You can also click that QR code right there, and we can make some things happen. And I'll get to Tokyo a little bit more later. Like we got so many other things that we gotta get on to. Like it's just tough. I be like feeling like I don't like asking people for the Tokyo do need money. I do need money for that, but like this is doing more. We did our gifts for good grades, our first one in Tallahassee yesterday. Today is going to be the one where we go to Long Branch Elementary School, where we're a part of giving gifts to every kid at Long Branch Elementary School. It's not just ours. It is us with it's not just us. It's I keep forgetting the name of the group. Oh, I could type in Nate. That's his name. Some a good pilgrim. Trying to help out the Jits. By Your Grace. So we partner with By Your Grace to do a good toy drive 12 to 2 p.m. out at Long Branch Elementary School. I'll be doing some video and some pictures and some stuff like there. Hopefully the news comes out and do different things. So and I'm happy for it. I'm grateful for it. One thing I do know is that people I get aggravated when it comes to this kind of space because people make promises that they don't follow through with, and those promises have to be kept whether they come through or not. And in Tallahassee, we had some things fall through, and I'm not going to use the platform to overly vilify people who don't come through, but those are the people that we put in front of our kids on a constant basis. And the people who curse a little bit, those are the ones that we say, oh man, they're not good people. But the people who consistently promise and fall through aren't the ones that we punish because they got a little title, a little bit of authority, a little bit of name on themselves, man. But that being said, shit will happen because my name is my name. And it may take me a little bit of time to do something. I may not be able to do it when I want to do it. But if I say I'm gonna give gifts to somebody, I'm gonna put my stamp on it. So we're gonna do it. So it just aggravates me because it's not, especially when people volunteer. I ain't asked for these people to help. I was gonna do it regardless. But when you volunteer, you put your name on something, make sure you do it, or you just won't ever do business with Big Game again. But anyways, that's good. That Long Branch should be cool. I got my whole fit laid out. I didn't get the suit that I wanted, but I talked to my, I don't talk to my dad. Y'all know the story about my dad. Just an interesting dynamic. We talked about it a little bit on the Freddie Stevens podcast, and I talk about it here all the time. I had a fly ass cherry red with white stripes, with the white zippers. We're gonna call it MFTK Tech because it ain't Nike Tech, but it looked just like a Nike Tech. Then come in. My dad, in his younger days, was affiliated with a neighborhood social club that came together for protection against another neighborhood social club. So his favorite color is red. Every male Coleman's favorite color is red. I wasn't a part of that neighborhood social club that wore red. I was a part of a neighborhood that just fought. We weren't no gang bangers, or we were just a bunch of dudes who we fought. But then he found NOI and took that and went to the military, and he took that rambunctious energy and just flipped it to a hatred of, well, he says he hates white people. He doesn't. I don't know what he hates. He just distrusts them a lot. Most of them. Not all, most of them. I've also seen this man eat bacon, fuck some bacon up. And he's personally made me a fried bologna sandwich, and I've seen him eat raw hot dogs. So, my dad is my dad, but he wants my red suit. But I have a red Jordan sweatshirt. I have red sweatpants, and I have my cherry red 11s that we're going to rock. Somebody suggested I should wear the Jordans that are in the picture on my sweatshirt, but I would have to, I don't know exactly which shoebox it is. I would have to go through a lot of shoeboxes in order to get them. And the cherry reds are in a specific shoebox that stands out. But I have the off-white 85s, and I also have the regular Jordan 1 85s as well. So it's a lot. I have a lot of shoes. But I just like red. I like all colors, but that's why I couldn't be in one of them social clubs, because I don't want to say stupid shit like Bristmas and things like that. Like, I don't want to say Chocolate Bip cookies, bookies. I don't want to say shit like that. That's stupid. But anyways, he wants my fit, but I got my fit laid out like it was first day of school, so I can't wait to go out there to Long Branch, hang out, and take some pictures. Had some gifts, and then we also have a bunch of just regular toys. So if you guys know any families, and just let me know. We'll wrap them. I'm gonna give some stuff. I'm also gonna give some stuff to some homeless people, man, because I fucks with everybody during the holidays.
All right, we're gonna move on to some FSU news. So we're gonna start off with some news coming from our new quarterbacks coach, and that is Austin Tucker. So FSU has bumped up Austin Tucker to the new quarterbacks coach. If I'm not mistaken, he was an assistant coach before this. He was an assistant, I want to say wide receivers coach, James, if I'm not wrong, but I know he was an assistant on staff and working his way up. And now he is the new quarterbacks coach. So, James, we know you got insight into the program. What can you tell us about Mr. Tucker and this new position?
Got nothing. I wish I saw, like, who is this white man? But most people don't really know who any of the assistants are. I happen to know who I knew Tony Thok. I didn't know Tony's name until I saw him. I'm like, oh, that's the dude who's doing all the drills when Kenny was coaching. Because Kenny wasn't really like Kenny was a good quarterback's good offensive mind. He wasn't a good quarterback's coach from a skills thing. Tony actually was probably a little bit better at the skill stuff. So like, but like, I'd be lying to you. Gerard's right. Can we put that on the Summer Jam screen real quick? Because he has a very good point. Like, he looks like he's an old young man. He looks like the old guy that hangs out at the corner store that buys the little kids cigarettes. If you I was never that person because I never was intrigued by cigarettes. I didn't understand them, even though I smoked cigars. But I know that as long as Gus is there, Gus is the real quarterback coach. So I'm not really concerned. Can he teach our quarterback to not overthrow the wide ass open wide receiver in the middle of the field? If he could do that, I'm cool with that. So that's it. Primo, no, it's not too late to make donations. It's $25 per kit. Is what the donations are. Just let me know when you made it. It's $25 per kid for that, whether it's for the showcase or it's for a gift for good grades. But yeah, this guy definitely was buying cats. Not Red Bull, Mad Dog, and Cisco, back in the day at the corner store. I do like the running backs coach though. Cash App money sign MFTK36.
Well, James, we mentioned the new cornerbacks coach, Blue Adams. Everybody on FSU Twitter was roasting him. There was a picture that went viral saying he looked like was it Mr. Chubbs? If I'm Chubbs Peterson. So,
yeah, man. That's wild. Like, buddy looked just like I didn't even catch it until they put the cane goal on his head. And he had his hand up, and I'm like, yo. And then I forgot who put it. I had to retweet it. I was like, yo, this is wild. You know, he went to Miami Central. A lot of people are bragging about that, having a guy with Florida connections, but he didn't recruit anybody to Michigan State from the Miami area. So he has some ties down south, but you know, again, man, like I could lie to you. I could do like not Mac, what's his name? Mike Zentz or whatever, whoever posted it. Like they did a good job. Like they post, all they doing is posting his resume. I don't know if he's good or not. I'd be lying to you. I am not very well versed on Michigan State's defense. I know who Brandon Harris is. I knew who Pat Surtain was, but there was also a Florida, like guys who have been in the state for a minute. There are guys that I do know. There are guys who I know I did not want. Like I did not want TJ Rushing. So thank God he didn't come back into the fold. This guy, if he understands cover 3 concepts and he fits what our defensive coordinator wants to do, I am cool. I don't want to pretend that I know all of the in and outs about what he is or what he is, but I do know Michigan State is not necessarily the school that I want to be able to, you know, get my people from. But I know before he came there, they had that nut ass freak bull. What is with Michigan and white women? Like, what are the white women admit? Like, you know, Kanye, when Kanye rap about white women, like it's crazy, you know. He said, my favorite girl want to leave me just because I got a girlfriend, which is odd. My freak girl tell me now she a Christian, which sucks. That's a loss. My white girl want to move back to Michigan. I'm pulling girls off the bench like a 6-man. And then you got a Mel Tucker risked it all for that white girl. And then now Sharon Moore, man, it's something up in that Michigan water. That's just, I mean, hey, I ain't never going to Michigan. Like I don't want no smoke. But he come down, maybe he does good, maybe he doesn't do good. Don't know. Hey, we'll figure it out. Or we won't. And I'm just not finna lose sleep over this. Because at the end of the day, guys make plays. So we show need some guys that can make some plays. Appreciate that, Primo, for the donation.
We will be keeping you guys updated on the coaching process as everything.
Did you see that they gave raises and they put the contract details out if people want to? I want to, you know, just to give people some hope or make them matter. I'm about to read it. All right. So I don't know which one. Oh, this is my guy from. Got to give my boy Chris Nee. Shout out to Chris Nee. Some clarity was provided regarding contracts for the football staff. New hires such as running back coach Cam Martin, Nick Williams. Nick Williams and Cam Martin are two guys that I'm cool with. I don't know anything about Blue Adams. That's consistently FSU standard contract for new hires. They get 2-year deals. A pair of coaches, and we got some guys who we know are coming back. Now, Harlan Barnett didn't work because they tried to make him run something that he didn't know how to run. A pair of coaches and significant staff members are on contracts that are set to expire in February. Those coaches are tight ends coach Chris Thompson, my guy, chicken wing man, Linebackers coach and special teams coordinator Jeff Papuchis. And and Josh Storms are all presented 1-year extensions. So we would have Pap, Storms, Thompson for one more year. So everybody was asking about last time, when are we firing Coach Thompson? I wasn't, just to put this, I wasn't asking about Coach Thompson being fired. People in the chat were asking about Coach Thompson being fired. Well, that answers your question. He's being presented a 1-year deal. We don't know about the contracts of Austin Tucker, who was an assistant wide receivers coach. And now I don't even know who some of these people are, but yeah. So yeah. So just giving you guys some updates about all of that right there. So we can all be well informed.
I know you couldn't wait to talk about this transfer portal quarterback, James. Got some news coming out of Mississippi State. And that's none other than former FSU quarterback Luke K, aka Luke Kromenhoek. So Luke K plans to enter the portal standing at 6'4", weighing 220 pounds. This quarterback was ranked as a 5-star recruit in the 2024 class per Rivals. He'll stay with the team, though, and participate in the bowl game. Everybody, the transfer portal window officially opens on January 2nd. So all the news you hear now is expectations of them actually going into the transfer portal. So, James, a lot of people had something to say on Luke K entering that transfer portal. What are your thoughts on the situation and how everything panned out in his career so far, even though it has been a short career?
I really wish he would have stayed. Me and Denny's supposed to be linking up on Tuesday to talk about some stuff with. So I'll probably ask some questions about them. Much respect to his father, Luke Cromart's father. Big fan of active dads. At the end of the day, these guys are doing what they feel is best for their career and their kids. The decision to leave Florida State was not just fiscal. And this is kind of why I was saying, like, sometimes in the media, you got to watch it. And he wanted to, he felt he was prominent. And this is where contracts and some of the business side of the NIL kind of comes into play with the playing side. So even with Florida dealt with, the reason why Trammell didn't play is because they had so much money invested in Lagway that they felt like they could not just pull him. They had to play him to get their money's worth out of it. And they wanted to preserve Trammell's red shirt. Now that Lagway's hit the portal, Trammell might get paid a little bit more because there will be an open competition for the quarterback spot. When they brought Thomas Castellanos in, so the quarterback, I don't know what it is now, but before, the rumor was that the quarterback position at Florida State was valued at, starting quarterback position was right around $1 million. Jay Trav didn't make that, but he wasn't far off. They knew if TC came in, he wasn't coming in not being promised the opportunity to be the number one. So they knew that the money had to be close to that, if not what Jay Trav was making. So what Luke's family wanted was the opportunity to be able to show that it's going to be fair on paper, because if you're paying both guys equally or close, it gives you the chance. So if I'm getting paid $250,000, right? And I don't know what he got paid. I'm just saying this. If I'm getting paid $250,000 and the other guy's getting paid $650,000, unless that guy truly shits the bed, which TC didn't shit the bed, he didn't play well, but he didn't play well enough for you to make that shift or that switch, I'm not going to be given the reps. So what happens is, if I gave you that kind of money, I'm giving you every kind of reason to fail before I truly pull the plug on you. Okay? So this is why we gotta have real conversations about these things. Common sense conversations. If I give you 650, I'm giving you, if there are 8 first team reps, you're getting 6 to 7 of them. And you'll get all the other guy will get all the 2 reps, but the 2 reps aren't the same as the 1 reps. And what happens is in a 5-minute period. So here's what happens in a 5-minute period from my own eyes and experience. You could get roughly 8 plays in a 5 offensive plays in a 5-minute period if you execute everything the right way and coaching is minimal. That's mostly if you have everybody who's been in the same system speaking the same language where you don't have to slow down and you don't have a lot of people making mistakes. But a lot of these guys are football stupid. You can see it on the field. Some of the mistakes they're making, they ain't very smart. But how it works is the ones get 4 reps, and then the 2s get 4 reps immediately following the 1s, and they are the exact same goddamn play. Well, if the 1s mess up and they have to go again, that effectively takes away a play from the 2s. Do you see how, like, being the 2 guy, that's why you see, that's why you see a difference with the 2s. If the 1s are really, really a well-oiled machine and very smart football team, the 2s get a lot more reps, which make them better, and then you keep them on going on. So this is why I can see why he was leaving. And I'm not mad. I still don't think he made the right decision, but I understand the business side of doing what you need to protect your interests. Now, he's probably going to have to go lower. So, like, I like the guys who are here now. I know they're going to go and bring another guy in the transfer portal, but I don't think they circle back. And we don't have the official GM at the helm right now, I don't believe.
Still are awaiting the general manager news, like James said, with the news that came out, I would say last week or the week before, of our current GM expected to take the general manager position at UCLA. So we will keep you updated on the staff changes and of the personnel and player changes that's going to be involved with FSU football. And with all of this college football talk, James, Nick Saban had something to say on Pat McAfee's show. So let's dive into what the legendary coach had to say. So Nick Saban compared G5 schools in the college football playoff to AAA teams in the MLB playoffs. Quote, look, would we allow the winner of the AAA baseball league in the World Series playoffs? That's the equivalent of what we do when JMU gets into the college football playoff and Notre Dame doesn't. I mean, I don't want to start any shit here, but it is what it is, unquote. James, do you agree with Nick Saban saying that by James Madison being in the college football playoffs, it's similar to a AAA team being in the MLB playoffs?
You know, he lost to Boise. Yeah, he was one of those guys that lost to Boise State back in the day. JMU could beat a lot of the teams in the SEC, ACC, Big Ten. Not every team, a lot of the teams. Same thing with Tulane. Tulane beat Duke, if I remember correctly. I think it's going to become a lot more like college basketball. The way college basketball shifted was when you had the one and dones. A lot of guys went to college to be able to go there and be able to get to the NFL. I mean, get to the NBA. So a lot of the teams that got better, and why you see they call it Cinderellas, are the teams that were older. that were more savvy, that were more like that just got better, and like you have better coaching, and you have some guys that have something to like App State. You remember App State beat Michigan in its prime, like when they were FCS school. I think it doesn't hurt to give somebody a chance. Now, if you know, and I think the way that they have it structured, giving the top 4 seeds a bye, allows them to play somebody that they have a matchup for. But here's the crazy part about Notre Dame, and I understand the case for Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost to 2 of the teams in the fucking college football playoff. The 2 teams that are playing each other, they both somebody. It's like me saying Notre Dame could beat Miami or Texas A&M if I didn't know about football. If only there was a situation where we could prove that somebody could lose to somebody in the college football playoff. Alabama lost to one. Alabama. To be honest with you, the only team that has 2 losses that has a real case is the damn it was BYU. They got their ass whooped twice by the number 4 team in the nation. Really, it was one ass whooping. I think the first one was closer than the second one. But this is just another ploy to be used to be able to try to get the SEC some more power so they can get more teams in. I don't want to see that Vandy does have a case. Vandy does have a case. They also have an exciting player that we can all look at. You know what? This is me. I'm doing, you know what? Let me stop. I am being just as judgmental as can we pull up James Madison's schedule? Let's see who James Madison has played. And then we'll look at Tulane's schedule. And then we'll see who Tulane is who Tulane has played. I think he has it up there, Mo. So Old Dominion beat South Florida, right? Who had a hell of a run in the first couple games until they ran into Miami. They ran out of gas. Damn, App State should be studied. Washington State is the only team that they've played. Liberty is a school that's been consistently up there in the tops, competing with people. If you want to give me an argument against James Madison, outside of the fact that James Madison, since they've been in FBS, has consistently produced very, very well. I don't know if you remember, Miles, but James Madison has been the highest ranked G5 school since they've been in FCS for the most part. They just weren't in a conference. So this is our 3rd year doing the Gator Bowl, right? Our first year was their 2nd year at FCS. And then last year they almost snuck in, if I remember correctly. So James Madison is a little bit more of a, hey, they here and they've been doing it. So that's why we're going to keep giving it to them. They try to get you to do something that you know that they're not going to allow you to do. Join the SEC. So like when you become good, why would they bring you into the conference? Like if they had like a European football model where you could play yourself into the games, right? Then it would make more sense. But right now it doesn't. So like, yeah, they just on some whole shit. Let's look at Tulane's schedule. All right, blow that up a little bit more, Jaden. All right. If only they played teams in a conference. So, hold on one second. I'll call him right back in a second. Let me go through this. Northwestern, they beat them down. Duke, they lost to Ole Miss. Now that was a good butt whooping. Their schedule's a little bit more tougher than James Madison's, though. So I'll give them that. And they technically played a play-in game. They played a ranked team in North Texas on the way in. Jay, go take the Like y'all, you guys take the show. I gotta call this guy back.
All right, everybody. So we're going to keep you guys updated on the college football playoffs. We just recently discussed this post right here regarding Nick Saban and his thoughts on G5 teams being in the college football playoffs, specifically James Madison taking over Notre Dame's spot, if you will. And this is what Saban had to say. He compared that to the Triple A teams being in the MLB playoffs, meaning that the JMU squad would be the Triple A team in the playoffs. So, even though we did discuss this already, let us know if you think Nick Saban is off his rocker for this comment right here, because man, it definitely set the internet ablaze with that one. So, with all this college talk, we talked about the playoffs, talked about some bowl games, talked about some players, talked about the transfer portal as well. So, let's actually take a look at some notable QBs who have plans to go in that transfer portal when it opens on January 2nd. Sam Levitt, DJ Lagway of UF, Drew Mestermaker of UNT, Josh Hoover recently announced that he plans to enter the transfer portal as well. That is the TCU quarterback. Brendan Sorsby, Bo Prabula, Aiden Charles, Aaron Philo, Colton Joseph, and Kenny Minchie, and a couple of more faces as well. So for everybody who is wondering which quarterbacks are on the move in this ever-changing transfer portal market, these are some of the more notable quarterbacks who have plan on hopping into the portal once it opens on January 2nd, like you see, excuse me, on the top of your screen right here. So that is going to be your news regarding the transfer portal. And we're going to take a look at the games that are happening this weekend in college football, and more specifically within the college football playoff first round. So we actually have the post right here for you guys. And college football is going to be kicked off tonight with number 9 Bama going up against the 8th ranked Oklahoma Sooner squad in Norman, Oklahoma. This is going to be tonight at 8 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. Once James comes back, we're going to make a parlay from these games as well. So on Saturday, tomorrow, Miami, 10th ranked, kicks off against Texas A&M, the 7th ranked squad, at College Station in Texas at 12 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. Then at 3:30 on TNT, HBO Max, or True TV, you have the 11th ranked Tulane going up against the 6th ranked Ole Miss Rebels at 3:30 at Ole Miss. Then at 7:30 on TNT, HBO Max, or True TV, you have the 12th ranked James Madison squad going up against the 5th ranked Oregon squad as well. So this is going to be at 7:30 p.m. at Oregon, and this is a Big Ten matchup versus the Sun Belt East Conference as well. James Madison being in that Sun Belt East Conference, and Oregon being in the Big Ten Conference. So those are your 4 first round games in the college football playoff. Definitely excited to see how these scores will pan out. And everybody in the chat for these 4 games right here, I want you to put your winners of the games for this weekend. So many people probably gonna put Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Oregon. That's who I'm rocking with. But we want to see who you guys are rocking with in the chat. Spam us in the chat of who you think is gonna make it out of the first round this weekend. And I'm super excited for the game tonight, starting off at 8 p.m. on ABC ESPN. So before we actually get into the NFL segment, I just wanted to remind you guys of the college football bracket that's going to be happening this year in the college football playoffs. So tonight is the first round of the college football playoffs, and this is the bracket for you guys right here. Shout out to Panama Noel for putting his what he thinks is going to happen in the chat. Appreciate you. He put Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Tulane with the upset over Ole Miss, then Oregon getting the dub. So this is your final 12-team college football bracket. If Oregon wins, they have to face off against Texas Tech, leaders of the Big 12. If Alabama or Oklahoma wins, they have to face off against the number one ranked Oregon in the Big 12, in the Big 10, excuse me. Georgia, SEC top dog, will have to face off against the winner of Ole Miss and Tulane. And Ohio State, the reigning college football champions, the actual first college football champion under the 12-team bracket, would face off against the winner of Miami and Texas A&M. So it's definitely going to be a great matchup. And for your quarterfinal matchup, you have these teams representing their respective conference. Texas Tech, Big 12, Indiana, Big 10, Georgia, SEC, and Ohio State repping the Big 10 as well. Now, I think James is back. So we're going to take a look at the first round of playoffs on the Hard Rock betting app to see what James thinks is going to happen this weekend. Sorry about that. Share it with you and pull him back in.
Let me pull out mine. Alabama's going to beat Oklahoma. Secretly, I hope it doesn't happen, but because I think Alabama gets treated like a just treated like, oh man, I be one of the, but you know what? Fuck it, it's my show. Alabama gets treated like a light skinned girl, like a cute light skinned girl with long hair. Like it's just not in elementary school. It's not cool. Are any of the Miami fans in the chat today? Are they awake? Where's my guy Luke? Anybody want to admit that they're a UM fan? Because I had an interesting comment. You have a James Coleman that is rooting for you. He thinks you're going to beat Texas A&M and Ohio State. But the only reason he roots for them is because he hates Ohio State. But I'm going to go with Miami beating Texas A&M. I don't like it for Florida State, but I think they have a hard route to go in order to get to the national championship. But I do believe that while I like Elko's defense, and I do believe he can make things happen, I think Carson, for some reason, they play up in bigger games. So I'm gonna go with that. Ole Miss is beating Tulane. What's crazy is we've seen this shit. So, I wish they would have kind of tweaked that a little bit. I don't know nothing about that, but I do know, damn, minus 2,000. I'm gonna go over 47.5. How about that? But Oregon's beating James Madison. Hold on. Take this over, Jaden. Y'all pick. Hold on, I got people calling me about the showcase. Hello?
So these are your 4 games, your first 4 games in the first round of the college football playoffs. And this is James' picks on who he thinks will get the edge over their opponent. He has Alabama to win, Miami to win, Ole Miss to win, and the James Madison and Oregon game going over 47.5 points. $5 will turn into $47.63, meaning that you have a payout of $42.63 in profit. So this is your Hard Rock parlay. Shout out to anybody at Hard Rock who's listening. Shout out them as well. Definitely need that Hard Rock sponsor for real. But we are actually going to be moving forward with the show. moving on because we got to touch on some NFL. So, for all my Seminoles out there, this is your favorite part of the NFL segment because we are highlighting the NFL Knowles, aka the NILs, aka the Knowles in the league. These are the Seminoles who have been putting on for FSU and is putting on for their program as well. Excuse me, for their franchise as well. So this is the Week 15 spotlight for these players, starting from the top, going from left to right. You have Jarian Jones, cornerback for Duval's team, aka the Jaguars. He had 2 total tackles, and both of those were solo versus the Jets. Asante Samuel Jr. got picked up by the Steelers. Love to see him getting some playing time in that black uni, 2 solo tackles, and he had an interception versus the Dolphins. Derwin James versus the Kansas City Chiefs had 10 total tackles, 2 pass breakups, and 1 interception. Had one of the best hits on Travis Kelce I have ever seen. If you know, you know. Kevin Knowles, the second cornerback for the Chiefs versus the Chargers, 3 total tackles, 2 of them were solo, and 1 PBU, aka 1 pass breakup. Braden Fisk versus Detroit had 3 total tackles and 1 QB hurry. We're going to get back to Braden Fisk and the Rams when we're discussing that Thursday night football segment. So then on the bottom, you have Brian Burns, 3 quarterback hurries and 1 fumble recovery versus the Commanders. Renardo Green, 4 total tackles, 2 of them were solo versus the Titans. And last but not least, you have Jalen Ramsey, 6 total tackles, 4 of them were solo, and 1 sack versus his old squad, the Miami, Dolphins. So these are the NILs who've been making a name for themselves out there on that gridiron. So shout out to these Knowles right here, getting nitty gritty and getting those numbers in the box score as well. So we got some news coming from Jacksonville, aka the Jaguars, because somebody just got paid. So for all my Jaguars fans, and you probably know who this is, but everybody else in the chat, don't worry, we're not going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger with this one because Jaguars wide receiver Jacoby Myers has agreed to a 3-year extension worth $60 million with $40 million guaranteed. So for everybody out there, this 3-year extension does come with $40 million guaranteed, but it could be potentially worth up to $60 million with different incentives and things of that nature as well. So if you take the 3 years and then you take the $40 million guaranteed, he's going to get within those 3 years, then for his guaranteed money per year, he's going to be getting around $13 million per year in guaranteed money. So shout out to Jacoby Myers for sure, and he's definitely helped that Jaguars offense with his mid-season acquisition because Trevor Lawrence leads all quarterbacks with 8.4 passing yards per attempt since Jacoby Myers made his Jaguars debut in Week 10. Lawrence has the second most touchdown passes with 14 and the third highest passer rating with 102.4 in that span since Jacoby Myers has made his Jaguars debut in Week 10. So he has been a great addition for the Jaguars, and most importantly, he's been a great addition for that Jaguars offense and for that Jaguars starting quarterback. And speaking of that Jaguars starting quarterback, it is no surprise that Trevor Lawrence is your AFC Offensive Player of the Week for Week 15. I know you guys see it right there. 6 total touchdowns. No surprise that he's the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He had a 62.5 completion percentage. We know that is a statistic Trevor Lawrence has had some struggles with throughout his career, keeping that completion percentage high. So shout out to him for getting over that 60% threshold. 330 passing yards, 6 total touchdowns, like I mentioned, and he had a passer rating of 136.7. So shout out to Trevor Lawrence, aka Waffle House Willie, for getting some swag and for putting that swag onto that football field to get them W's, man. So your other AFC players of the week were Alohi Gilman, safety for the Ravens with 8 tackles, 1 pass defended in an 84-yard defensive touchdown. And you had Dicker, the kicker, the Los Angeles Chargers kicker, who had 10 points, 1 for
I'm
1
good now, Moss.
on field goals, and he was 3 for 3 on field goals. So shout out to Dicker, the kicker, for being the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. But James, since you're back, what are your thoughts on Jacoby Myers getting that 3-year, $60 million contract, but 3-year, $40 million guaranteed contract for the Jags? And I don't know if you heard the stat I read, but wanted to read it again. Trevor Lawrence leads all quarterbacks with 8.4 passing yards per attempt since Jacoby Myers made his Jaguars debut in Week 10. And Lawrence has the second most touchdown passes with 14 and the third highest passer rating with 102.4 in that span as well.
I mean, it looks like he has a great relationship with Trevor, and it looks like Trevor has found his number one wide receiver. But I think it's very early, man. Like, let's just enjoy the relationship for a little bit before we get married. Like, everybody's so quick to like, I love you. Mwah, let's get married. Like, no. Yeah, he's been mid for quite some time. And like, and there's nothing wrong with that. You need mid gonna sell. Sometimes you just need a cool ass 7.5. But you gotta let the 7.5 work, man. Like, you over here. This is what's wrong with America. We got dimes, we got fours running around here acting like dimes. Right. Like, let's just cool it. Let the process, let's find out, do they squeeze the middle of the tube with the toothpaste first? Or are they a bottom up guy? Let's find out, like, what if he does something weird, like chew his toenails or spit them out? Like, we got to find the quirks in the relationship that you like and that you don't like. This is still, you don't know what she looks like without makeup yet. Yeah, we just want to just relax. Gerard was like, JC, before the season, weren't you extremely optimistic? Yes, I was. I'm the only person that said the Jags were going to the playoffs and winning the division. But because it's just, you got to know certain things, man. But like, hey, I love it. But like, you got to let's just cool out for a second, man. Let's cool out. But I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to make the money, but like, let's let the season finish first. This is what got us in the situation with Trevor. We had to get counseling. We had to get really some things to work, man. But like, I would just say, cool it a little bit. Yeah, like, just gotta fix it. Now you're gonna have to pay her. You can have as many women as you can fiscally, emotionally, and physically handle. But right now, we don't do a very good job handling the women we got. So like, let's just not lock ourselves into a marriage. But I hope it works. I can say that. I can wholeheartedly say that. I hope it works.
Let's get into the Thursday night thriller that happened between the NFC West division rivals for the number one spot in the NFC West. So you had the Seattle Seahawks going off against the Los Angeles Rams last night in Seattle, which resulted in a 38-37 overtime victory for the Seattle Seahawks. So let's get into the box score and team stats before we look at some other facts about this game as well. So for starters, let's look at the winning squad, and we're going to start off with them first, the Seahawks and Sam Darnold. So Sam Darnold went 22 of 34 through 270 yards, had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the day. He got sacked 4 times, losing 26 yards. And Matthew Stafford, 29 of 49, 457 yards. He threw for 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions on the day. And he had 0 sacks as well. For your Seattle rushing core, Kenneth Walker III had 11 carries for 100 yards. That's an average of 9.1 yards per carry. He had a rushing touchdown along with Zach Charbonnet, who had 9 carries for 32 yards. So Kyron Williams had 23 carries for 70 yards, but Blake Corum scored the Rams' sole rushing touchdown with his 14 carries and 48 yards. For your receiving core, man, Puka Nacua put on a masterclass, 12 receptions for 225 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns on the day as well. I know for anybody who has him in fantasy, y'all were so elated watching last night's game. And Terrence Ferguson scored the other receiving touchdown for the Rams with his 3 catches and 33 yards. JSN, the wide receiver one in this league, arguably this game had the top wide receivers going up against each other, wide receiver 1 and 2. He did not disappoint. 8 receptions for 96 yards and 1 receiving touchdown on the day. Also, AJ Barner also got the other receiving touchdown, which was 4 receptions for 49 yards. Cooper Kupp had lost a fumble in this game as well. So Seattle had, it looks like, three total turnovers, and these were your defensive juggernauts for each squad. Seattle, Drake Thomas led the team in total tackles, while Omar Spates led the Rams in total tackles as well. Jared Verse got half a sack, so shout out to Jared Verse, the NIL.
Yo, I hate Puka Nacua. I didn't realize this. So it's the playoffs in the Den Media Group Fantasy League. I had a hellacious lead. You know what I don't have anymore? I'm losing because we do 2 weeks. This motherfucker had Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua got 46.5 points. Yeah. I had like a 40-point comfortable lead. And one person chewed up all the damn cushion. You know who I have lined up head to head with Puka? A person that I know ain't gonna do shit. And that's Devontae Smith. I know they're not gonna throw the ball because when they throw the ball, they lose with the Eagles. I'm probably gonna I went from being so confident to not. But Jackson Smith, I might have told you Jackson Smith was that in jig, but remember when we talked, he had one. You was like, I just need him to get one more catch. Yeah. He hasn't had any catches. He ended the game with a really good number, man. Like, nothing. Sam Darnold needs to sing the Bodyguard song with Houston. I have nothing if I don't have you. Like, them boys are trash, man. It's craziness.
This game was definitely a slow start for the Seattle Seahawks. We'll take a look at the play-by-play right here, just browsing and skimming through it. At halftime, the Rams were actually up 13-7 on Seattle. Seattle came out the gate, scored a touchdown. Rams got a field goal. And then, Seattle got an interception. Seattle threw an interception. Sam Darnold did. The Rams scored off that turnover and had a comfortable 9-point lead going into the fourth quarter. The Rams actually scored again to open the fourth quarter, making that score 30-14. But Seattle slowly started to come back. You see right here from this play-by-play, you had the Sam Darnold interception in the fourth quarter early on at the 9:39 mark, but then they decided to kick it to overdrive. 3 and outs from the Rams. You had Seattle scoring, and then you had it going into overtime. So the Rams actually had a missed field goal that could have tipped them over the edge to win this game. And then they had the controversial 2-point conversion we'll get into as well. And then Seattle ultimately got the W and they outlasted them as well. We're going to come back to Seattle with some more statistics, but let's take a look at these team stats. The Rams had actually 4 more first downs compared to the Seahawks. So the Rams had a lot of their fourth down conversions early in the game. In the first half, they were 2 and 3 on fourth downs, while the Seahawks were 0-0. But the Rams were 8 of 20 on third down conversions compared to the Seahawks 4 out of 11. So this was a high offensive clip for this game. The Rams had 581 total yards of offense, while the Seahawks had 415. So the Rams had 457 passing yards, while the Seahawks had 244. Seahawks also had 171 rushing yards compared to the Rams with 124 as well. So for your red zones statistics, the Rams were there 6 times and scored on 3. Seahawks 3 times scored on 2, and they were penalized, in almost a similar way in terms of the yardage taken from those penalties. The Rams actually got penalized 8 times, losing 54 yards, while the Seahawks got penalized 5 times, losing 40 yards. And Seahawks managed to win this game with 3 turnovers, 1 fumble loss, and 2 interceptions thrown. And take a look at this time of possession, because the Rams lost this game but with having 40 minutes of time of possession compared to the Seahawks, who had 26 minutes of time of possession. Seahawks still found a way to swoop down and take this W from the Los Angeles Rams. But man, this was a crazy, crazy game with historic statistics, because the Seahawks are the first team in NFL history to win a game on an overtime 2-point conversion. And also with the Seahawks as well, the Seahawks are the first team in NFL history with 3 successful 2-point conversions in the fourth quarter or overtime of a victory. This game was very, very important for the Seahawks, because they are now the number 1 squad in the NFC, and more importantly, number 1 squad in the NFC West. And with the victory last night, the Seattle Seahawks have actually clinched a playoff berth. So shout out to the Seattle Seahawks, because they definitely played a nitty-gritty game, down to the wire game. And speaking of down to the wire, shout out to Next Gen Stats, because they included this probability chart right here for the squads. So the Seahawks win probability was as low as 2.7%, with 9:04 left, trailing 30-14 in their comeback win over the Rams. So Seattle's chances of earning the number 1 seed in the NFC are now 52%, with LA now at 21%, and Seattle's odds dropped to 4% when they trailed by 16 points. You can see this chart right here. In overtime, when the line plummets down, that shows you the win percentage going into and favoring the Seattle Seahawks. So definitely a shaky and turbulent game in this NFC West matchup, but a great game none of the less. We have this post right here for you guys. So the Seahawks are the first team in NFL history to allow a 450-yard passer, allow a 200-yard receiver, have 0 takeaways, have 0 sacks, and still managed to win the game. So it seems like the Seahawks did the impossible. And let me add this statistic for you as well. So the Seattle Seahawks were 0 and 172 when trailing by 15 plus points in the fourth quarter. So now they're 1 and 172 after last night's victory. So this was a pretty wild game. And James, we actually have a video clip of the 2-point conversion happening. So,
That was wild.
all right, we're going to play the video clip for you guys, and we're going to see what you guys think of this successful 2-point conversion that actually ended up tying the game for the Seahawks, that ultimately ended up going into overtime and them getting the edge over the Rams. So let's play this successful, controversial 2-point conversion and see what you guys think in the chat.
So the ball has to go forward for it to be considered a pass. It's a lateral if it's even or slightly or behind. So that's not the reason why they lost though. So like, like the reason you lost is because you couldn't, your offense is why you lost. But it's just it's wild. That it's that's why I always tell people, like, scoring 28 points in a game is a lot. This was a shootout and just came down to people just need to, guys got tired of getting old. So that's part of the reason why they're doing the things they're doing.
One of the most highly anticipated and one of the most highly exciting games of the NFL season for this season. And man, it was a special game last night between these two NFC West giants, if you will. So the Seahawks are now 12-3, while the Rams are 11-4 this season. So the Seahawks are 6-2 at home. But every loss the Rams have had was by one possession. They lost to the Eagles 33-26. That was their first loss. They lost to the Niners 26-23. That one hurt since it was a division game. They lost to the Panthers 31-28. Whew, that was a crazy week. And they just lost to the Seahawks last night 38-37. So the Rams in their one possession losses definitely sting a little bit. So congratulations to the Seahawks on clinching that playoff berth and for becoming the number one team in the NFC. Shout out to the Seahawks on that one.
I hate the stat that people throw around of one possession games, because it lacks context and nuance. The reason why you don't see a lot of double digit or even 7-point spreads in the NFL? Because most games come down to one possession. If you did that, you could legitimately make an argument or a case for every team. So like, that's why I just think that's a little, it's always misleading when they post that, in my opinion. But
shout out to Philip Rivers, man. He has been on a finesse run this year, man. Colts needed a quarterback. He stepped up and laced up his cleats to go back out there on the field. The 44-year-old grandfather, Philip Rivers, will get the prorated minimum of $278,889 for 4 regular season games with the Indianapolis Colts.
that's each game, right?
Rivers also, I think it's for the 4 games. Is it for each? I'll look that up. So Rivers also restores his league provided health insurance that would have expired 5 years after his last game, resetting for 5 more years. So he's getting some health insurance with that, if you will. And with his pay, he's getting that $278,000, $278,889 for his last 4 games. And yes, I think that is per game, James. So he's getting that per game. So he will be making around 1.25 million for 4 weeks. So, man, he is living the life for sure. And shout out to Philip Rivers and shout out to that insurance. I know that was a definitely key part of him making that decision to get back there on the field. So we just wanted to shout out one quarterback before we have to highlight the downfalls of another quarterback in the AFC. This time, this quarterback is in the AFC East, and that is Tua Tagovailoa. Because, James, we heard that the Dolphins were benching Tua Tagovailoa for Quinn Ewers in the Week 16 matchup versus Cincinnati. Quinn Ewers, if you guys don't remember, played at Texas last year and is a rookie in the NFL. But, James, just like what Kendrick Lamar said, that's not enough, said the Miami Dolphins organization, because Tua got bumped down to quarterback 3. So Quinn Ewers is QB1 and Zach Wilson is now your QB2 for the Miami Dolphins. Zach Wilson, you guys do not remember, played at BYU, was the first round pick taken by the Jets. Now on the Miami Dolphins, went from one AFC East team to another. And it looks like Zach Wilson has taken Tua Tagovailoa's spot. So, man, what is going on in
Be your own people, dog. Be your own people. Quarter black is knocking down another black man. Nah, Tua needs to be done. Should have been done 2 years ago. Like, about tying up money. That they had to play him. So like now we got all this shit. Now it's like, it's your job or it's who you trying to get fired, me or you? That's really what it all comes down to. And Mike McDaniel got it in him, dog. Like, so I know a lot of people be like, he know how to get this shit done. He knows how they do. Like, and he's doing what it needs. He's doing what needs to be done. He's like, buddy, I'd love to help you, but I just can't. Yes, it's you or me. Yeah. Yep. Sorry, Bucko. But nah, man, this stuff is just, hey, kudos to him. Like, oh man, what if his dad? Yeah, Bert. Remember his dad I used to get spankings when I lost. These people think, again, we used to be a proper country, man. We used to fight wars. We used to beat kids when they were average. Now you can't beat a kid at all. Like, it's just. Again, so as much as people want to bitch about, they want to bitch about how bad, what is his name? Like, everybody talks about, not Jermaine Jackson. What was Mr. Jackson's name? Joe. Yeah, everybody talks about how bad Joe was, but nobody wants to turn the money back in. They didn't do it for free. Joe Jackson was out here beating great. Like, all right, I don't know the exact scripture, but the Apostle Paul talked about beating his body and making it a slave to him. That's the excellence. Sometimes you gotta beat excellence into people, dog. Like yeah. Yeah, it was like a cold ass quote. Yeah. Now, when you find out all the other shit, like, it kind of throws things off. But like that, it's like listening. The Bible to me is like listening to Drake. I don't particularly care for Drake, right? But Drake says some shit sometimes in his bars that are just like, yo, if you weren't a fruit cup or as sassy and sweet as a snickerdoodle cookie, I could rock with you. But it's just all But Tua just look. I'm glad he made the money, man. And we have to ask ourselves, what's the trade off? Would you trade millions and millions of dollars to potentially die early? I think he's cool with that. Yeah, he was. He was just like. He was just a little like. All right. He did, man. He did. This is where when people talk about Shadur, and it's so hard. I got put like there. It's not racism anymore. They just try to make people irrelevant. Black, white, doesn't matter. Just the goal is to make. If you're not exceptional, to make you irrelevant. You can either be exceptional or irrelevant. Because this right here just poo-poos in the face of what you. The league is racist. We've never had more black quarterbacks ever. Half the league has black quarterbacks. Like it's never been a better time to be a colored quarterback. Like this is the greatest time. Like when you sit back and you think about it, if you're a black quarterback in today's game, if you can't play, you can't play. You can't blame him. Tua's out there. But he was good. There's guys who were really good that couldn't get opportunities. My dog Sean King. My dog, there's a lot of guys that was just out here slanging. Warren Moon didn't. I was trying to say Warren Moon didn't die. Warren Moon's still alive. He just had the pressure of the world. Like they don't even have no pressure. They got bread. Yeah. Like Shadur is making what Warren Moon made, and Warren Moon is an all-time great that had to go to Canada. He had to go to the alternative leagues and set records in alternative leagues to get an opportunity to back up. And I think he only got the shot because somebody got hurt. And then set records when he was here, when he played. Like, meanwhile, Tua out here. But, I hope his kids love Grandpa. Grandpa Tua is drooling again. Like when he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He got none of the great Samoan traits either. Now we think Samoan, you think large mammal. He's petite. Or he might be too. He might not be petite. He just looks like it. But yeah.
Let's take a look at some news coming from an NFC North squad. That is the Chicago Bears, James. So we got some news. CEO of the team says the team will expand its stadium search, including Northwest Indiana. So after Illinois state leadership told the Bears their proposed Arlington Heights Stadium will not be a priority in 2026. So this is actually a statement from Kevin Warren, the president and CEO of the Chicago Bears football squad. So this is what he said. I'm not going to be reading all of it, but going to be reading some of it. So the same standard has guided our work on a new world-class stadium. Early this season, we shared that Arlington Heights is the only location in Cook County that meets the requirements for a world-class NFL stadium. We still believe it offers the best and only path forward in Cook County, given there are no other viable alternatives. Over the past several years, we have worked in good faith with Illinois leaders and made clear our commitment and readiness to invest more than $2 billion by the Chicago Bears, one of the largest private investments in state and NFL history. We have not asked for state taxpayer dollars to build the stadium at Arlington Park. We ask only for a commitment to essential local infrastructure, roads, utilities, and site improvements, which is more than typical for projects of this size. So additionally, we sought reasonable property tax certainty to secure financing. We listened to state leadership and relied on their direction and guidance. Yet our efforts have been met with no legislative partnership. So consequently, in addition to Arlington Park, we need to expand our search and critically evaluate opportunities throughout the wider Chicagoland region, including Northwest Indiana. This is not about leverage. We spent years trying to build a new home in Cook County. We invested significant time and resources evaluating multiple sites and rationally decided on Arlington Heights. Our fans deserve a world-class stadium. Our players and coaches deserve a venue that matches the championship standard they strive for every day. So it looks like they got some how location problems in terms of the Bears franchise, and Bears are the kings of the NFC North this year. So I feel like that process definitely got sped up with the success of the Bears this season. So James, looks like the Bears organization is having a different problem on their hands, not the people on the field, but the business of the NFL. So
They're gonna fold. They're gonna do what they need to do. One, it wouldn't be career suicide for Chicago but it's such a pro sports town. But they're gonna fold to what is necessary in order to get that there. So, or they're going to end up doing what happened with Cleveland when the Browns left to go make the Ravens. The NFL definitely came in and did what they need to do, or just because again, if you keep the name and I think somebody put in there, because again, if somebody was talking about the Jags from New York, the New York Jets and the New York Giants both play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So some of the guys live in New York and they do stuff, and it's not far, but they get better breaks in New Jersey. So if you don't want to be I remember when they were doing all the stuff here at Lenny, they were going back and forth. Nobody wants to be the mayor that loses $500 million of taxable revenue with just 60 players. And that's not including the execs and everybody else who has to live here, buy homes or rent, spend money for food, and then just forget the other things that come because of that. It's the fact that the salary cap is X amount of dollars, so they have to spend this. There's no way you want that to leave. That is political suicide. Regardless of we don't want our taxpayer dollars to go. Bitch, it don't matter what you want your taxpayer dollars. Them motherfuckers' taxes pay way more than what yours do. So I need their taxes more than I need yours. How about that? And that's where people don't realize where a lot of the decisions get made in life.
Wanted to share this interesting infographic with everybody. It was made yesterday before the Thursday night football matchup, but this is the NFL point differential by quarter. So these are your point spreads for each respective quarter. So if we take a look at the top team, the Seattle Seahawks, and their overall point differential is 163, meaning they score 163 more points, plus 163 points. So in the fourth quarter has that -8. So that means that in the fourth quarter for the Seahawks, that's when teams typically score more points than them, resulting in the Seahawks having a -8 point differential. So the Seahawks actually have the highest point differential in total for the league. It has to be updated from last night's game, but how ironic, the teams that face off last night are the top two in point differential. So shout out to them. And the Jaguars are actually in the top 10 on this list as well. So for your Jaguars, we aren't the best fourth quarter team. You can see right there, we have a -27 fourth quarter point differential. But take a look at the New York Giants. They have the worst with -46 in the fourth quarter. And you take a look at the Cardinals as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns. They are among the teams with the worst fourth quarter point differential. But no surprise that the Houston Texans have the best fourth quarter point differential. I mean, when they played that Jags game, definitely helped them out in that statistical category. But just thought this was an interesting graphic to see how your favorite team pans out in their respective corner. From my Panthers fans, you know that second quarter is really harmful for you guys with a -94 point differential in the second quarter. So just wanted to share that with everybody before we get into the perfect and imperfect lineups. courtesy of NFL Fantasy Football. So no surprise that Waffle House Willie is in your perfect fantasy lineup this week with his 6 touchdown performance. He had 44.3 points, and no surprise that Travis Etienne Jr., who had a hat trick versus the Jets, had 31.5 points. James Cook, 31.1 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 41.4 points. Whew. This was Puka before last night's game. He had 27.9 points. Oh, wow. Kyle Pitts Sr., 45.6 points. You have Travion Henderson, 30.1 points. Jacoby Myers, 22 points. And the Ravens defense, how shocking, with 23 points. Now let's look at the other side of that coin, that imperfect lineup. Sorry for anybody who had these players on your fantasy squad. Joe Burrow, 5.5 points. Kenneth Walker III, 2.9. Kareem Hunt, 3. Lad McConkey, 4. Justin Jefferson, 4.2. Isaiah Likely, 0. Alec Pierce, 2.6. Evan McPherson, 0. And the Patriots defense with -2 points for their late game loss to the Buffalo Bills. Bills had a crazy comeback in that game. No surprise that the Patriots defense was the worst from the week. So those are your fantasy perfect and imperfect lineups for you guys right here. So let's take a look at the games that's going to be happening this weekend, because we have some exciting news for all of my NFL fans up there. This is the best time of the year because we are finally getting Saturday football, ladies and gentlemen. So Saturday football is in full effect. So we have the Eagles facing off against the Washington Commanders. This NFC East matchup for you guys is going to be happening at Northwest Stadium in Maryland at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Yes, Saturday at 5 p.m. This game is going to be going down. Then later at 8:20 p.m. on Fox, you got a great one, the Battle of the North. You have two NFC North division rivals going at it. The Packers playing at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois at 8:20 p.m. on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Bills and Browns at 1, Chargers and Cowboys at 1, Chiefs and Titans at 1, Bengals and Dolphins at 1, Jets and Saints at 1, Vikings and Giants at 1, Buccaneers and the Panthers. This is for the number 1 spot in the NFC South at 1, Jaguars and Broncos. Going to be a great game at 4:05. The Battle of the Birds, Falcons and Cardinals at 4:05, Steelers and Lions at 4:25, Raiders and Texans at 4:25. And lastly, for your Sunday night football matchup, you have the AFC East New England Patriots going off against the AFC North Baltimore Ravens. So with that in mind, let's get this parlay rolling.
I'm gonna go. Oh, 325 ain't bad. I'm gonna go Eagles. Pack. Hold on, I forgot to pull mine up. Something is telling me that I need my heart broken for the holidays to be more impactful. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. For some reason, I just believe that I need Dak to break my heart again.
Shador time against Josh
Buffalo.
Oh,
I need
never
Shador
mind.
to get negative points. Not because I hate Shador, but I'm going up against him with the guy who had Puka. Cincinnati.
Really,
I believe the Jets
not,
are going to win for some reason.
you don't have faith in Quinn Ewers and Darren Waller?
No, I have faith in Darren Waller. Ken Ewers is going to play like you, is my opinion. I don't know why I'm going with the Jets, but it just feels like the Saints don't want to. The Saints are going to need to get a draft pick, get a draft pick position. I'm going to pull the upset. Who's the Chiefs' backup quarterback?
That's a good question. Let me go on ESPN and try and figure that out, because Patrick Mahomes did tear his ACL, for you guys who are wondering why James asked that question. And it looks like Gardner Minshew. is going to be taking the starting quarterback position.
I didn't even know he was still playing. I like Gardner. Shit. You know what? Changed my mind. Gardner, Casey. It's gonna be exciting. Minnesota. The petite Panthers pretty princess is going to keep them in the playoff contention. Shout out to my dog Sheena and Vashti. The Falcons. I was supposed to be at this game, but I can't do it. Too much going on, so I'm going to take Jags. I'm going to go. I don't know, man. Something about Aaron. I'm going to go Aaron, man. I've been going to Detroit a lot, but I'm going Aaron. I don't even know how to pick this game, but I'm still going to go minus 1,300 as a safer bet because I know that they're going to win. So give me the Lamar Jacksons and the 49ers. Somebody said no Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football, the San Francisco Treats are playing the Daniel Jones-less Colts. If they knew what was good for them, you know who they would play? They would free my dog, Anthony Richardson. I have 2 bonus bets.
Where they expire.
Yeah, so one's on the 26th. One is $20 bonus bet. I just do $5 bets.
That's crazy.
Just trickle them in.
Never gotten $1.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do a $5 bonus bet on this. It's a lot of money. How do you get $5? Oh, it changed. Well, how did it just changed? What is going on? Let me push this before they forget. So yeah, I bet my $5 on it, and I'm getting that. If we win, we all win. If I win, we all win. Everybody gets Christmas if I win. But that's wild. It's a wild. I know that's if that comes true, I'm just gonna retire. I'm not gonna. If I win that, I'm not betting for the rest of the year.
I feel that.
Because like you just like this because it's I've hit 16. Well, technically 15, and then I punked out because it was too much on my heart. I just took the $1,000, I think $1,500, and just said I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. But because like it was Aaron Rodgers. They were going back and forth, and they kept just like, oh my God, just he got back up and said, cash me out, give me my money. But yeah, so cool.
We have looks like you got a question, James. What are the chances that the Jags make it to the Super Bowl, James?
I'll tell you this much. Now I can't even say I hope you're fixed at this point, Jackson. I say I might be my 20th. Make the Super Bowl. I think they have they have as good a chance as anybody in the NFL right now. They're playing like when you sit back and you think about it, as critical as I've been on Trevor Lawrence, the Jags could very easily be 13-1 right now. They've only gotten their ass whooped one game. To use the Jags have lost 3 games by 1 score. At one point, they should have been 5-1. Like it's just when you sit back and you think about what the Jags have accomplished this season, because outside of that, so if they play like the teams that they're playing, like the San Francisco 49ers is still one of the best teams in the NFL, and the Jags beat them. Some of the teams that they've beaten are crazy, but then like you think about matchups and how they'll be hosting and just the way Trevor's played the last 3 games, I believe. Yeah, last 3 games have been on fire. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's been playing He's taking what people are giving them. He's being able to push the ball down the field. He's using his legs more. The defense is playing inspired ever since they've got Devin Lloyd back. They're going on streaks. So they got hot at the right time. Yeah. So it's like I have a hard time saying that they couldn't, because they was whooping the Colts. Even with the Daniel Jones, they were whooping the Colts ass. So like they play at home more than likely the entire time. As long as he's Willie, man, if he goes back to being Trevor, man, he in trouble, man. So I need them to win. So I'm here for it.
Since we were talking all this Jaguars talk, I'm just gonna skip past the BS or busting and get straight to the OG Wildland segment, because man, it was surprising to hear this news story as it broke the internet. So I'm gonna share this with you all. Then we're gonna look at an ESPN article as well. So this is revolving a former Jaguar linebacker, Miles Jack. So I'm gonna play this video for you guys right here, then dive into the details. It might be muted. Let me remove it right quick. Add this back so you guys can hear the sound, but let's see what you guys think in the chat below.
He's now charged with deadly conduct, discharging a firearm. It's a third-degree felony. Here's what we know. It was early Tuesday morning. Frisco Police Department was called for a welfare check at a home off Haft River Road. That's inside the hills of Kingswood, a gated community. Now, when police got there, they heard gunshots inside the home. Officers established a perimeter around the house, and people were evacuated from nearby homes. Eventually, police say 30-year-old Miles Jack broke a second-story window and climbed out, falling to the outside ground level. No one else was inside that home. Jack was taken to a hospital to be treated for injuries from that second-story fall. Police have not revealed the circumstances leading to that welfare check. A record show Jack is booked into the Denton County Jail. A mugshot has not yet been posted.
People are wondering, James, what was going on in that Jaguars linebacker room? First, you got Telvin Smith. Now you got Miles Jack jumping out of two-story windows. But let's look at this ESPN article, courtesy of Michael Duraco. So any of the fans of the show, you know that we love to shout out Michael Duraco because he's actually the ESPN reporter for the Jaguars here in Jacksonville. So he comes with all the news. So shout out to him. So former Jags and Steelers linebacker Miles Jack is facing gun charges in Texas after his Tuesday arrest, according to a Frisco PD. So per the release, police responding to a welfare check at a Frisco residence at 5:40 a.m. local time on December 16th heard gunshots from inside the residence. After setting up a perimeter and evacuating several other residences, police officers saw a second-story window break and a suspect, later identified as a 30-year-old Jack, climb out and fall to the ground. Jack was arrested at 7:12 a.m. and taken to a local hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Police said no one else was inside the residence. The Denton County Sheriff's Office charged Jack with deadly conduct / discharge of a firearm, which is a third-degree felony and misdemeanor discharge of a firearm in certain municipalities. Jack played in 18 games over 2 seasons with the Steelers after playing 6 seasons with the Jaguars, who selected him with the 36th overall pick in 2016. He did play ball at UCLA. Jack and his mother, Lasongia Jack, purchased the ECHL Allen Americans minor league hockey franchise in 2023. He is also listed on the ECHL's Jacksonville Iceman website as being among a group of former athletes that are investors in Zoyer Sports, which owns the Iceman. Oof, man.
Hey, he might have just been on. He might have been on a bad trip and thought he seen something. And there was nobody in the home. He discharged a firearm, which is what I told somebody. It seems like a legal discharge of a firearm. Nobody got hurt. I'm sure this charge will be dropped to a misdemeanor. And, you know, he might have been dealing with something. Who knows? I don't know, man. But cocaine, hell of a drug. Now, cocaine don't make you do that. Cocaine make you act erratic around people, but you don't hallucinate. He was on shrooms. Yeah, he was there, you know, that's what it sounds like. But hopefully, you know, they get that man Baker acted. Take his guns from him for a little bit and just but I'm just glad he's okay and nobody was hurt in this situation.
Yeah, I'm trying to read around and I don't think it says if it was his house. I assume it was his house if he got called for the welfare check. So I don't think it's someone else's house if my logic pans out. So I guess it was his house that they arrived at. But then I don't know why he would jump out the second story window of his own house.
That sounds like somebody who's spazzing, bro. Like so when you're bored and you like want to experiment with stuff, things could go wrong. And I've heard little Duval talk about experimenting doing like mushrooms, right? And he says if you're not okay with your demons, they're going to come out when you're tripping on shrooms.
Personal experience, yeah,
and
they will.
So I tried the microdose one time because I've heard about microdosing, and it was really good sleep. I know I don't want to see little demons running around. I like little people, but I'm also afraid of Schmeagol from the Lord of the Rings. And so what I did was, you know, I can see how I just put myself to sleep. I did some other things that made me go to sleep. So I don't really know my opportunity with that probably wasn't the same as other people's.
Your personality doesn't garner having a doubt. I can't see that
happening. Yeah, so like, but I just like if I woke up and there was what was the troll? The movie was it the movie The Troll or the Leprechaun? That's it. If I woke up and there was a leprechaun at the edge of my bed, I'm not pulling out the Canic. I'm not pulling out the pump shotty. I'm pulling out the AK. and I'm shooting. I'm letting off the whole clip. I'm just the only reason I might pull out the pump shot is because I got the blinder, the light, the super bright light on it to try to like make sure we shoot it. Like, so you might hear a discharge of a weapon in my home, but I'm probably tripping. But I would hope he would be more responsible. Like if you're cleaning your weapon, like sometimes if you thought it wasn't, you don't know if you have something chambered, depending on how long it's been there. So like, but I would hope he would be more responsible than that. But
really like someone else to be around if you're gonna be. And we're being speculation.
Yeah, all I know is when he jumped out of that window, he was in fact down. There was no speculation of if he wasn't down. He was in fact down. So, but nah, man, listen, don't. Like I said, nobody got hurt. It was a victimless crime. I don't you know, get him. Hopefully, if he needs help, he gets the help that he needs. That was necessary. So that's all one could want. Yeah, I hope they win. I don't know if he knows. Like I like hockey, but I don't know if I like investing money in hockey.
We're good. We're for the Panthers.
Yeah, now I'll go to a game, but I'm not like EC. I ain't minor league hockey investing.
So Miles Jack grew up in Washington, was selected in the second round of the 2016 NFL draft out of UCLA, like I previously mentioned. And James, I think this is starting to make sense. He was a standout two-way player with the Bruins, also seeing snaps at running back. So man, the CTE, man. That CTE. But
I think he probably was just a terrible person. I'm just being honest, man. Because CTE, I'm forgetting a lot of stuff that I wouldn't normally forget. I think CTE is. I think the guy was right. We lose people that we like, and sometimes we like people. We make excuses for people we like, and sometimes the people. You know what? You never hear CTE for sprinkled on people who cheat. Like Corey Holcomb had a great thing. Like, do you know the pain that black men go through sometimes just living a life? And sometimes we take it out on bitches. You just got to get you some good pussy and just take it out. We don't mean nothing by it, but just hear me out, right? Imagine sprinkling it on things that it could make sense to. Also, like, why does he keep? I don't know. Like, why does he cheat on tests? Oh, well, he's got CTE. Why does he do this? He's got CTE. Like, we only use it for suicide. Like, we only use it. We call people the worst people in the world who do these other things. He does. Like, I heard him. He deserved to get stabbed. He cheated on his wife. Damn. He deserved violence. He didn't do anything violent. Why don't you just sprinkle CTE on it? He did it because of CTE. They committed suicide. They do all these other things. But when we look at it, you know what they also did? They all also have drug problems. They all also are alcoholics. They all also have, like, we sprinkle CTE on bad behavior as a get out of jail free card to make us feel better about the people that we like.
We just don't know.
Because instead of just saying, we don't know, but what we do know is he has a predisposition to run out of windows and run into people. I can only say jump out of windows because he's done it, but we know he's ran into people before, and that makes you.
Deshaun Watson.
That could nobody sprinkling CTE on Deshaun Watson. You know what we're doing as a family? We're calling him a nut ass freak bull because multiple things could be true at the same time. He's a nut ass freak bull. You know, I was trying to help him at first a couple times. I go on a cruise, I get a massage. I couldn't do it on a Disney cruise. You know why? Because Disney cruise was just like them bitches want to charge $300 for a massage. I would be honest with you. I paid $300 for a massage. I better be getting a happy ending. So I just wasn't ready for that. You know, you got all the Deshaun, just 100 women in a year is a lot. A lot for anything. Like, even if you're a single, healthy, heterosexual male like Fannin, you don't need 100 people touching you. Like, that's just a lot.
Yeah.
Because even a massage at a certain point is like a relationship, man. I want to get used to the hands that are touching me.
Super rich. I want 100 women touch me.
That's different, but I'm just saying it's still a problem. You going into puffy territory.
Yeah, I guess I am. Yeah.
It's not an issue, but I'm just saying, like, okay, do we really need that much variety and spice?
No, it's just about power. You're right.
That's what it becomes. The Puffy thing is not. I don't think Puffy did anything wrong. I think Puffy was bored, and he just, like, he has a kink, a humiliation kink, or like the kink to like seeing people do weird shit with baby oil. I saw an AI where they put like a home, like they be doing, they're fucking up my childhood. They're doing the Pixar things in like the a Diddy Hanukkah story.
Oh Lord.
Will this oil last 8 days?
Oh no. So
it's just terrible, man.
Yeah. Lord.
Like, I can't wait till somebody gets Curtis Jackson back. I know his story is going to be crazy. And I like 50. Shoot, that office party. That's what they really need to do. You talking about these celebrities, y'all. I've been to some of these office parties and people be getting drunk and all that pent up frustration. Anyways, I hope Miles Jack is okay. And I don't think Miles Jack is a nut ass freak bull. I just think he's hurt.
That's all I have for today, James. Any last words to say to the viewers as we bring in the weekend?
One, if you guys have anything to do, like Jaden, if you ain't got nothing to do, tomorrow's the thing. Hopefully it'll be good. Don't know. At this point, don't give a fuck. It's here. Like, we're gonna ride it out. We're gonna take what we're going to do is make sure it pictures well. And I do know for a fact that the most important piece will be there. And that's a kid that Kai calls Bryson the right. But what I would like for you guys to do, I don't know, Miles, can you put the arrow over the eye?
Yeah.
Because I already know it's like 200 people on the Twitter, and then like, not enough on the YouTube. Definitely. My assertion was right. Please. Even though we did a good job, we're at 7,260 something, 267 subs. Let's try to get that over. Get that up. We'll be streaming games tomorrow. I don't think we're streaming anything tonight. I know tomorrow we're streaming games, basketball. We'll be videotaping everything. The reps will be live. We will be streaming it live, though. We'll upload it and we'll stream it live to the different social medias, the MFTK Spartan showcase, so people can see it. A lot of different things that we have going on this weekend. We do have. We'll be giving away Gator Bowl tickets starting on Monday's show. Also I have 50 kids that we're sending to the game, to the Gator Bowl. So we'll have that. Can we do it? Do you want to do it live in the showcase in the Discord, or what do we want to? We're not gonna stream. We're gonna like edit. Kobe wants it to be like edited, so it'll be more of a video than a stream. But I don't know what we got on the Discord. We'll probably watch. I don't know what I got going today. I want to watch some of the games. I'll probably like just stay in tune to the Discord. I'll probably put one of the games in the Discord and we could all watch it as a fam. Yeah, definitely the Jags. You know what? We're definitely going to do a Jags watch party, 4 p.m. That's when the game is on Sunday. So check those different things out. Outside of that, the Gator Bowl is next Saturday. Make sure you guys stay tuned. A lot of shit gonna get uploaded. Just click the like button, subscribe, share with a person. The Discord will be free until we don't make it free anymore. Well, it'll always be free stuff, but we'll add more. Once we start getting breaking news, we'll start locking the content down for people, but it would never be more than like $5. So that might be the thing that we will do, is stream it in the Discord. Like, because I am going to eventually make some things paid for, some streaming events. Yeah. So, well, I'm saying like certain, like, well, you either have to be a member on the YouTube or you'll have to be a member in the Discord. Yeah. Yes, Primo, we will be putting FSU information in there. Once I get with CJ, once I get with anyways, I get with the guys who I've been doing stuff with. We will start doing some more premium FSU content. So outside of that, man, we got the hats. We got hats available to sell. If you want to get those, inbox me. If you want to get a last minute stocking stuffer for somebody, we got the MFTK NWA, MFTK NWA, MFTK FSU. We have Mandarin colors as well as bowls. And we will have the other ones that are available for pre-sale that we will put up as well. So it's some different things that are there. Outside of that, man, really appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. And we will see you guys next time.